beauty,
Mm-hmm.
beauty in the small things, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so hi gang.
Hi. He
So last week was fun. Everybody had a bad time. Well, most everybody had a bad time. Dr. Strix enjoyed himself, but
to one extent or another.
everybody was a little stressed. So last session, you all met up and made plans to go investigate the haven slash like feeding grounds of a big player on the block. What the Toreador Laszlo, who owns this club called Club 12080, in his like place down on the docks. Everybody went for a visit. It was a nice place, a little overwhelming for everybody, for some of you, but there's a lot of you were able to glamour your way past the bouncer to get in immediately. You met a couple old friends. Ajira bumped into your Malkavian friend Sasha and had a little conversation in the sensory lounge. And the rest of you spread out. Dr. Strix met a nice young woman who was a little out of place. Who was nice. Was there. You talked to her a little bit. You the rest of the Felix, who is not with us this evening for reasons, uh, got grabbed up by one of the bouncers at this party and got brought up to the VIP lounge to meet the master of the hall. One, and the rest of you very quickly followed suit in various degrees and confronted Laszlo, who was a young, pretty Toreador anarch who uh, basically was able to reflect every single thing you threw at him. Like, very quickly, your thin-blooded friend fell under his glamour, and the rest of you tried to like debate him with facts and logic, and he kind of just he was like water.
Hypothetically.
And let's say hypothetically that I owe a blood tax and I don't want to have to pay that. Uh, uh, Laszlo is not Ben Shapiro. He's far too pretty. uh, but you all got through. You, Valencia, the Valencia of the Clan Ventru, very much tried to impose order, and try to offer up, the safety, the security that exists within the Ivory Tower. And Laszlo is just not having it. And he had some compelling arguments and got a little too physically touchy with your friend Felix. And Jay took quite.
Pissed.
Yeah, did
I'm
not like
fucking
that.
pissed.
And yeah, a lot of you eventually were able to scramble out of the way. Ajira, you were also there, but you were very, very wisely trying to keep yourself out of whammy radius. You did not want to be within his awe aura. And watched quietly from the shadows, as one who's well versed in obfuscation is likely to do. While all of you are having that very serious and very losing argument, our friend Dr. Gideon Strix ran into a new friend downstairs. He, using his third eye that he's opened with Sense the Unseen, found somebody bedecked in a like stunning long coat that was just coated in blood sorcery sigils. You spotted them out, and they also noticed you noticing them. and
Ooh.
had a bit of a
Noticing
conversation.
you. Noticing you.
Touching hands. uh, had a bit of a conversation with a person you found to be another of House and Clan Tremere. Of Clan Tremere. You don't. She made it clear she wasn't necessarily a subscriber to House Tremere's logic, so to speak. And she also mentioned she helped clear up a couple thing of your loose ends. There was a grisly murder suicide that a police officer was very interested in that suddenly lost interest due to just a little bit of influence from her. And there was an offer left to have a bit of a conversation later and maybe eat some lessons. But she did instruct you not to mention her name to her sister, your sire. The new person you met, his name was Charity, and apparently your sire has somebody who is probably both like actual living sister and must have been sired around the same time. Who is also a vampire of about the same age and power level. And so that's a fun thing to explore. The rest of you kind of turned your tail. Jay went home with Felix to make sure he didn't get too moony-eyed, but the rest of you,
But he had to go to sleep.
you, as inexorable as the tide, felt that sun come up and just energy drain out of you, and you quickly threw yourself into the bathtub, drew the curtains closed, and just full dead. Hopefully Felix didn't need a shower. But it's the following evening.
Jay just wakes up wet, like, what?
Yeah, there's been a drip all evening, all afternoon, from in
What
this
the
just
fuck
dinky
is...
apartment.
What the fuck? What? Why? What? No, it's like, Felix fully took a shower, and like, Jay was just still in the tub.
Oh no!
He's just like, you know what? This might as well happen. Because, like, they don't wake up in the middle of the night, right? Like, it's not like I'm tossing and turning.
In very serious danger, your body can wake up during the day sleep. Like,
Yeah, but water's not fire. So,
absolutely, it's quite the opposite.
so Jay would just sleep fucking through it. So, like, he just wakes up wet and is just like, what
Yeah,
the...
you
This bitch took a
like,
shower over me.
he propped you up, like, with his one strength, somehow propped you up, like, on the towel rack.
Jay just wakes up soaking wet on the floor. And it's just like, what the... This little shit.
He used you like a shower rack, so you just have like your hands out. There's like a shampoo
Yeah,
bottle on
you
one.
have the rigor mortis of the day sleep, just thoroughly. Jay
Wakes up with a towel draped over him. Like, this little bitch.
do. Okay, sorry. You guys all wake up to a text message from your good friend Felix. Well, good friend is a strong term for some of you.
Should we do some rouse checks?
That's a good idea. So, let's get those rouse checks out of everybody real quick.
Oh no, I'm hungrier. I'm not.
What did Valencia get? Oh, nice.
Is that a pass?
Yeah, that's a pass.
Okay.
Shelly, can you roll, or do you need me to roll for you?
Yeah, I'm currently standing in my bathtub rinsing off my scuba gears, so that last conversation was incredibly funny for me.
That's amazing.
No, that's good. I'll roll this d10 for you.
Thank you.
That is a 10. You do not get hungrier.
God damn, you're rolling this every time for me now.
Yeah. Okay. Exciting.
Honestly, glad I failed because it makes sense. Because
Oh, yeah.
Jay had a rough one.
You all wake up from the day sleep with a text from young Felix that reads, "Going to clear my head for a bit. Find some inspiration for the work V wanted. Maybe. IDK yet. If I get into a pinch, I'll call." I don't know how all of you feel about that, but I'm guessing some amount of you are a little less than pleased.
I was gonna say, should we go off of Jay first? I want to see his reaction.
Yeah. Jay wet just gets up. I don't know if he's actually lit, whatever. So Jay, like, is definitely going to, like, I guess, like, peel himself out of the tub. And is just going to look around Felix's apartment and, like, I guess, see if there are any signs that have been left behind, like any notes on the fridge, like yada yada, like that kind of stuff. Like how, like if there are any clothes that have been taken, just to see if like been going away for a while.
Yeah. So how deeply do you invade Felix's privacy?
That is such a great question. I think the most that he would do is like open dresser drawers. Like he's not gonna like go into like personal shit. Like he's not gonna like rifle through stuff. He's just gonna like open. Okay, nothing's missing. Close it again.
You open Felix's bedroom door. There's like fairy lights over his bed. There's like RGB lights on like a couple on like the corners of his room.
So many plants.
Like
so many. They all have names.
Notably, you, long-standing kindred, find this abominable, but he does not have blackout curtains anywhere in his apartment. There's like very like IKEA pretty but like inexpensive, like gossamer curtains. Like there's a lot of sunlight in this room as well as like the other stuff. You find,
or there would be,
like you poke into his closet real quick, open dresser drawers. Looks like there's a couple. Felix is an artist. His room is a little bit messy, but it does look like there's been a handful of. You can't really get a good guess of like at least a couple days of clothing. You, a Toreador, have, maybe a little, you're not sure how to gauge how much normal people clothes are.
Yeah, he has so many clothes. He has like 2 walk-in closets.
It's Jay's setup at home is very much like that scene in the Robert Redford, Great Gatsby, where he's just throwing.
Oh yeah, he's just that's 100. He has like a whole room just for his clothes.
Daisy Buchanan's just like, oh, there's so many beautiful shirts.
They're so beautiful. Stop. Oh, Gatsby.
Yeah,
I just watched that movie the other day, and
really,
it's not good.
It's everybody's so sweaty.
Neither of the Great Gatsby movies are good.
Correct.
They're both bad.
But yeah, that's your personal setup, and you can tell like there must have been like a backpack or like shoulder or tote bag or something that like.
Yeah, I mean, like Jay.
It doesn't look like it's been ransacked, but it's definitely been like opening. I'm gonna take 2 or like his dresser is at least folded and nice, and like
Yeah.
peeking through it.
I
It's
mean-
definitely like here's a couple like shirt, pants. Like
Yeah, like Jay has been with Felix for long enough that I think he knows all of his clothes because he doesn't have that many. So I feel like he would be like, okay, the blue cardigan is missing.
yeah,
Shit.
that's his favorite sweater. No.
It's like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Yeah. That's kind of.
Yeah.
That's some stuff. He hasn't left a note anywhere. Like there isn't like a blood in the fridge kind of thing because
Yeah, it's like going out for cigarettes, be back soon.
Your boy does not have a blood plug, so that's a sentence I don't like saying out loud.
Yeah, gross.
You're welcome.
Hate that.
Yeah, redacted.
It is recorded.
We love you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess Jay will text the group minus Felix.
Mm-hmm. New
we'll,
group chat. Felix isn't invited.
New Felix excluding group chat.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me and Kennedy very sad. I hate excluding people from the group chat. Anyway, he will text the group like, I know we all got that message last night. Some of his clothes are missing. I think he's going away for longer than he says he is. Or for longer than we were thinking, or what have you.
How does Jay
and then I guess Jay feels kind of garbage.
Yeah, you sitting here in this moment, the sort of words ring in your ears that Laszlo said, that like they treat you like a ghoul, like that kind of.
Yeah, like he's thinking about Laszlo, and he's thinking about the reaction that Felix had to him, and then he starts thinking about how he acted. I think this is like probably one of the first times that he's ever actually sort of taken a second to actually think about the things that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of like he's remembering how he reacted when Felix was talking with Riggs, and his reaction to that, and like dragging him outside, and like all of the moments like that there have been in the past like 6 or 7 months that they've sort of like been together, and being like, oh shit, I'm turning in, like I am the same person, the type.
Yeah.
All of them who have problem.
You're cutting out right now for a little bit.
It's
because you cut off at I'm turning into the same person, and then you're just like
he's like I'm turning into the same type of person that made me into what I am. And he's sort of like, what effect, like he's starting to realize like, oh shit, like what kind of effect is that going to have on Felix? Like I'm responsible for him now. And
you did take on his sire.
Yeah, so he's kind of coming to like this, he's beginning to come to this realization of like, I have to be better. And I have to not be as much of a shit. Because otherwise, either Felix is just going to withdraw into himself and just never experience life and just be miserable, or he's going to become another me. And I wouldn't, like, he wouldn't want that. So he's like,
yeah.
So he's like, he's going through it, but also is like, he's like, he doesn't know how to break that cycle in himself. So he's sort of wrestling with that of like, oh shit, I need to be better, and also not knowing how to do that.
I got that.
So that's where Jay is at. He just has sort of like a little disassociative moment in Felix's living room. Like, shit, fuck, god damn it, I'm a piece of shit. Fuck.
Yep. Okay. Camera is going to pan out of this small but decently appointed apartment to a much nicer apartment, to a condo even. As we zoom in through the blackout past the blackout curtains into the how was Valencia's night last night? How did she react before the day sleep took her?
Well, let's just say, as we come onto the scene, you can see Valencia's getting up out of her very beautiful, lavish bed with satin sheets with really ridiculously high thread count.
Mm-hmm.
And
Does
as
she
she
have
goes,
a canopy?
of course, double blackout curtains, except the ones on the canopy are like embroidered, so they're really pretty and fancy. And as we see her go and she starts to walk through her apartment, it pretty much looks like a tornado has blown through it. There are pictures just literally torn via like Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
There's just pottery shattered on the floor. Couches are ripped up. It pretty much just looks like a 200-pound Wolverine got let loose in her apartment. And
Someone
as
has
she's
Hugh
like,
Jackman?
she was not happy at the end of the last night. So, here she is, just totally stone-faced, I woke up like this beautiful, just walking through this completely destroyed apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And she's flipping over some couch cushions looking for her phone. And as she finally picks it up from underneath the flipped over coffee table,
there's there's glass just all over. It's a miracle your phone survived, but like,
oh yeah, there's a huge crack in it. And she sighs as she like picks up the phone. She looks down, sees the text message, and for a moment her resolve just like falters again, and she just like grips her phone really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially just, if it wasn't broken before, it's broken now. She looks at it, sighs, pops out the SIM card, walks over to a drawer in the kitchen and pulls out another phone exactly like it, pops the SIM card in.
I love her!
There's like, you have like 4 like backup burner phones just like stashed away.
Yep, pops the SIM card in, just sighs like she has the worst hangover ever as she looks around her apartment. And then she first calls up Jason.
Hello, ma'am. How are you this evening? Is there anything I can do to help you?
Yes. I need you to call my antiques guy. And
okay.
also call that cleaning service we used last time.
Did you have another rager again?
Valencia looks around. Yeah, yes. Well, Jason, as you know, this has to be confidential between you and I because I have an image to uphold with the company. But yes, I did have company over last night, and things got a little crazy.
Ma'am, you've got to start. If you're gonna party, at least party with people your age. Like, these college kids.
Jason?
Look, I'm barely out of college, but like, come
Jason?
on.
Why don't you go ahead and make those phone calls?
Oh, right away, ma'am. Sorry.
Valencia hangs up. And then Valencia goes to her kitchen, to the empty pantry. Well, there's like, almost like prop food that you would see in television shows, of course. But they're like foods that just don't get moldy and expire, just basically like canned goods. And she moves some aside, pulls out a brand new bag of Solo cups, rips it open, and starts going around her apartment, crinkling some cups and just throwing them around.
Delightful. Awful. Delightful.
Yes.
I
And then,
love that she has a contingency plan for this.
of course, it's Valencia. And then, she looks at the text from Jay,
Mm-hmm.
sighs, and then just responds to the group text with, we should probably meet up to discuss what happened last night and our next steps forward. And then she makes arrangements to go towards the gala.
Camera pans out. Goes up.
Just for clarification, is that in the group chat with Felix or excluding Felix?
No, just responding to your text in that group chat.
Okay.
The anti-Felix zone.
Yeah.
The camera pans out up into the sky, and then down deep beneath the earth of the city, into the like sub basement of the Brigham Women's Hospital, and we see our resident Tremere. How does everybody else had a very bad night, and you experienced some new possibilities? How does our boy, how does Dr. Strix wake up?
Wakes up like he usually does. He gets out of bed, puts on his out of his coffin thing, whatever they're called.
Off the slab.
Yeah. Puts on his gloves that he took off at night, like usual.
Mm-hmm.
The gloves stay off at night.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The gloves are on only. The gloves are on every time when he's not asleep or in the middle of doing something important work, like cleaning up a body.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has different gloves.
Yeah.
No, then he goes in with his bare hands.
Ooh. Good thing
He doesn't want to get the heart blood on his gloves.
Is Igor waiting for you when you wake up?
I feel like Igor would be out in the front like
Okay.
reception area.
Gotcha.
But he feels definitely intrigued by everything that happened last night.
Mm-hmm.
He is a little worried. What if this is a plant? What if this is me being tested?
Interesting.
Ooh, I like that.
It's like these crazy people with all the politics and stuff having to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to get down to the basic science of it.
What does Gideon do? You've gotten yourself set. You don't even need a snack, right?
Right.
You get the 2 texts in from your coterie, but is there anything you'd like to pursue? Is there anything you're thinking about?
Well, first he'll check in with Igor. Igor, is there any phone calls, anything coming?
Hey boss. There's nothing left for you. The hospital has been very nice and had your schedule nice and clear. There might be, supposedly there's got some. This did come in for you though, and there's a sealed manila envelope that has a wax stamp on it. It's very similar to the one you had received when you got your written invitation from your sire to go attend a meeting at the Chantry. But it's that pentagram sigil. It doesn't have the C written in the center of it. And the one you got before, where it's like the pentagram inside a circle, the points of this pentagram are like going through past the circle, sort of like magic unbound.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, without making you roll for Streetwise, which I don't think you have any, that's kind of like the vibe you have.
Hey, I have a specialty in Streetwise.
That's fair. That's my apology. But yeah, you have this letter. You have this envelope you've received. Do you do anything?
Bring it back into my room. Thank you, Igor.
Absolutely, boss. Do you need? Is there anything you require of me this evening?
Just stand by. Take it easy. If anything comes up, I'll let you know.
Okay, absolutely, boss. And you
Help yourself to a beer in the fridge.
Oh, it's very kind of you. I am technically on duty. I don't know if I can do that. When I clock out.
Okay.
And then he he gets something on his pager and he heads back up. It's like I have to go transport something for phlebotomy. I'll come back soon. And he vanishes back up the stairs. So you have that envelope. Opening it up on your desk.
Yep.
Yeah. You pop the seal. Unwrap the cord. And it is a bunch of Polaroids. Taken. These are all crime scene photos of the scene. In that abandoned. The semi-abandoned construction site that you guys left. This looks like this is the police file. There's a name written in it. Leading officer is one Detective Darren Steele.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of you're looking at it and you can tell these are photocopies of the document, but you get the feeling that whatever documents they had, these are copies of the crime scene photos. Whatever original is, you don't know where the originals are, but looking at it, these are very clearly photocopies. But there's a small handwritten note, on a not a post-it note, but on an index card. It just says a bit of charity work.
Gideon kind of chuckles at that, just like I did.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just sometimes the puns are too strong to not use, you know?
Know a thing about that. Can't relate.
You have that bit of information. Well, you at least have. Let me actually look at what information is present here. These both listed as 2 John Does. Mentioned bizarre scarring or mutation. There's a bunch of question marks as to what was up with that weird bone plating on their arms. What other sort of information would be it's looks like it was murder suicide, but there's a lot of questions. There's a note in here that the heart was missing out of one of these people, with no it looked like one of the people was killed with a shovel and then shot, which is what happened. Well, had their throat ripped out, mutilated with a shovel, then shot, and then the other person shot themselves. And it's there's a lot of questions here that have not been answered. But hopefully it seems like they don't have access to that information anymore, given the information that Charity gave you.
Okay. Gideon will chuck it away in his desk in the most out of the way
Yeah.
way pocket of
Yeah.
the desk. You know,
You've got like a file cabinet desk in your drawer, and you put it all the way in the back.
I made that contraption from Death Note or whatever it was.
Oh yeah. I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
And eat it.
I was gonna say it's not in the bag of chips, is it?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to that point.
You've got the secret thing all the way in the back.
All right, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna hold in my Death Note talk.
God, it's been forever since I've even thought of Death Note. Yeah, that's some stuff that's happened. How's Gideon feeling? Like, you've got all these possibilities. You mentioned, like, oh man, am I being set up? Is this my sire fucking with me? Which, you've dealt with Calamity for a while, and she's definitely, like, in on court politics more than you are. So, who knows? Sure, could be some sorcery she's doing to disguise her hair and appearance, and because Charity did not look like her twin sister, but they definitely looked. It's hard to tell because you don't know if they were turned at the same time or not, but the look of one versus the look of the other, Calamity does look a little bit older. Like,
Okay.
going into your mind palace a little bit. Yeah, you get those contacts from your companions about meeting up.
I was trying to think of something clever to say, but I couldn't think of anything.
One of them.
Gideon is both worried and intrigued. That is main feelings.
Good feelings to have.
But we'll go to the location that mentioned in text.
Mm-hmm. We zoom back out and still stay relatively close to the ground as we come to the basement suite in a boarding house that is behind several locks and other security measures into Ajira's lair. How does Ajira wake up?
She's in an actual bed, in pajamas, because routine is important.
It's pleasant.
So it's like, yeah. Get up, put actual clothes on, kind of a morning, the equivalent to what morning prayer would be. Kind of like before actually checking in with the rest of the outside world, it's probably 20 minutes of just trying to remember to be a human being.
You do the things that you remember felt natural.
Yeah.
Brushing
and then it's, yeah. Checking the security system. See if anything's flipped overnight. But then, yeah, checking the phone messages.
What, you have a camera set up, like, by your front door, right?
Yeah.
Nice. You notice somewhere... you sent out a communique to the local sheriff that you wanted to have a meeting. You noticed there was a hit somewhere in the afternoon. A relatively nondescript human, white, short, dark hair, in his early 30s, well, early 20s, somewhere, like, in the afternoon, like 2 or 3 o'clock. They came up to your basement door, like, knock, 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 and they, like, wedged an envelope into the crease of your door. That's something that, like, pinged in your security.
Yep, and I'm pretty sure she's used to this method of communication from... So, yeah, she'll go get that, Not open it yet, but check the phone, see the first message from Felix, and just kind of go, "Wow, for fuck's sake." See the message from Jay, and just kind of shake her head, like, how... This is, not how you're supposed to treat people, underlings, people you're responsible for, like, but also this is Jay, so it's not totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Ouch. I mean, it's true, but ouch.
I imagine there are some, not even if they're not rules, but kind of like accepted just do's and don'ts in kindred society. Like, I'm imagining messing around with other people, like sires and things like, and messing around with other people's kids probably isn't really great. So she's not gonna, take a deep breath, be like, take a step back, like, this is my problem, but also this is not my problem.
Yeah.
As much as I want to help him, I can't be as involved as I would like to be. And then, return, agreed we should meet up at some point tonight. We're responding to that message. Send a message to Gideon asking if there are any updates on our situation from 2 nights ago. Not wanting to say, hey, what's up with the bodies in a text message. Just trying to get all the information before the sheriff, before speaking with the sheriff. Sending a text to Jay saying, you wouldn't by any chance, like, I'm trying to figure out how to word it, like, you seem like you might be the kind of person that would have a tracker on his phone. Like, you don't have any method of tracking Felix, do you?
I don't think he does. I don't think Jay would have put a tracker on Felix's phone. And also, I think Felix is the type of person where if he found out that he had a tracker on his phone, he would know how to get rid of it.
Yeah, fair.
Or he would know someone who knew how to get rid of it.
Young licks in their knowledge of technology.
Yeah, right. Like, Jay's a boomer. Like, come on. He was born in 55. Like, sure, he's been around and he knows about technology, but he wasn't,
he knows about Candy Crush. Everything other than that is kind of...
So much about Candy Crush.
Is then going to send a text message to Sasha, who seems to hang out at that club, and just ask, for common courtesy if he might give us a heads up if Felix wanders in there.
Oh, he's here.
Great!
Yeah,
Alright, thank you.
I ended up taking a nap here during the day, and before the place is gonna open in a bit, and I'm gonna head out and do stuff. But yeah, I saw him this morning. I thought you guys sent him. He said, is this a call or is this text messages? Sorry.
Text probably.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, when she got that information, she might call.
Yeah, call 2 rings later.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I'm about to head out. What's up?
Felix has just kind of gone AWOL. Want to keep tabs on him so he doesn't get into too much trouble.
Oh, so you want me to be a spy?
Not a spy so much, just as, if it looks like he's gonna get in trouble, could you please just let us know?
You got it.
He is an adult. He is allowed to do his own things, but he's not.
I mean,
He doesn't know that much about. Yeah. He doesn't know that much about this world, and I want to make sure he doesn't get himself into trouble.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't really have anything. I have to go check in with Riggs, but I know a thing or two about a thing or two, and I can go handle that and come back. I can always use a snack here anyway. I'll keep eyes on him when I can. You will owe me, though.
Thank you. I understand.
Okay. I get to do spy stuff. Beep.
I love Sasha. They're so good.
They're a sweetheart.
It's gonna be like there's gonna be some cursing in multiple languages.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of it, every once in a while there's gonna be a J in there that's clearly distinguishable.
Love that. Love that.
I'm in danger.
Do you open that envelope?
I do.
Yeah. This is like a plain business envelope. You pop it open. And it's like a piece of yellow legal notepad. That's been like, folded to fit. And you like open it up, and it has an address and a time.
Yep.
Which the address, you like punch it into your phone, is the church, the Basilica, Boston's Basilica of Our Lady of Perpetual Help, and it says 10 p.m.
Alrighty. She will note that into the phone calendar. The appointment, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then is probably going to head over to the
the
gallery. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you all at your various times. This is a handwritten note, and it's very like blocky, like Carpenter's script kind of. Looking at the way he writes.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes like. Me, who's taken like AutoCAD and known about just like I know carpenters have like a very particular way of writing that's very like straight line and thick stuff like that.
It's the pencils actually, because the pencil is flat.
Yep.
So it doesn't roll anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Having known many carpenters.
I took shop in high school.
I love their music.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Everyone hated that.
I'm just picturing Connor watching this in the future, and he loves it. I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Can we pause for 1 second just so I can refresh my video recording?
Totally good.
Good. I'm gonna switch from my phone to my computer.
Alrighty. I'm gonna refresh my soda. Ow. I'm keeping up my tradition of drinking only red liquids for these games.
Such a vibe.
Look, I don't like red wine, but...
I mean, rosé is close.
That is very... I've had, like, Fruitscato and stuff like that, but... Miriam, your mic is off.
Okay, so I got you guys. I did not get me at all. It did not record my voice.
Oh no.
That's hilarious.
So, Rhea, do you want to check yours to make sure your voice is being recorded on it?
I've been testing it periodically.
Okay.
Should be good.
Alright. So I guess... I don't know why it's not recording my voice. I have it on always on.
Mm-hmm.
For... what is going on?
Are we good? Or are you
Yeah, I
still
guess,
fighting?
Rhea, I'm just not going to record it anymore because it's not recording me, so... What's the point, alright? No, but, like, for real.
Mood.
It's just taking up space on my computer now, and it just is missing, like... Damn.
It's okay.
Alright. So I'll leave it in your hands.
Alright.
Sorry. I'm glad I checked that before I recorded more.
We zoom in. We are in your gallery. We go past the art displayed on the bottom floor and the couple of like art studios you have set up on the middle floor. You have one or two of your clients who like has a cot set up in the studio that they've rented, and it's technically not legal, but if you get a snack out of it, nobody will notice. But yeah, we come to a room in the center of the office that just happens to not have any exterior windows, and it's this well-appointed little office space. There's some plants. There's a whiteboard that you have aggressively kept clean because anything else if anybody else finds the stuff you've been writing on it, that's not great. But yeah, you all sit around your table, and there's an empty chair. That's a notable absence.
Empty chairs and empty tables.
So glad we're on the same page.
It's a mimic.
It's a mimic! That table's gonna kill us! It's happening again!
Oh god. I promise, the table is not a mimic. Or any other sort of animated... So yeah. What's the conversation like? What do we want to share information on?
He's at the club.
Jay stiffens at that. Like, he looks visibly uncomfortable.
Gillian just says, "Yeah, makes sense."
Fucking twink.
Sorry. Valencia's just like... just crossed arms, like sitting, leaned back, just, a little bit on edge, just waiting for somebody to say something.
That's it. That's all his ear is going to contribute.
Oh, Jay said fucking twink out loud.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't Kennedy, that was Jay.
Twink, parentheses, derogatory.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So, Valencia being Valencia, she has to talk at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So what are our next steps? Clearly, Nabokov is a huge problem, but I don't think we can search for him at Studio 120/80. Should we check out the docks or anything like that?
I worry that he is going to have a sizable crew with him. He tends to not. You've seen the ghouls he makes, and there's quite a few more missing. So,
given what we've dealt with already, it's not unlikely to imagine that there are far more closer to where he is,
So then
and most likely stronger.
yeah.
I mean, we could always buy a 725 Banefire.
Why would we need to buy it? We know who has some.
Oh, that is true.
What are you talking about?
A new toy.
You like flashy guns, right, Jay?
I mean,
Emphasis on flash.
I mean, yes, very, very much so, yes.
How would you like a shotgun that spits fire?
They make those?
They do now.
And it seems that a guy under the name of Rob Eastford has bought one.
There's if you check your your catfish profile,
Sona.
your Hicksona, there's definitely a couple more buzz about the CTL stuff. There's a couple more people. There's where they're like, "Oh, this looks dope as hell." Like, there is at least one video that somebody posts of somebody like they have a scarecrow that they just and it just goes up immediately in flames. And, there's way too much beer for there to be any gun safety in this thing, but
Zero trigger discipline.
Zero trigger discipline. Like, this is definitely just some dudes from upstate doing very dumb stuff. But yeah, in the Minutemen group, you've definitely noticed a couple more people have bought them. There's nothing about there hasn't been any noticeable "oh man, I'm gonna go kill a vampire" posts that you've seen, but you've definitely you've been keeping an eye to make sure that's not gonna happen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Zero, you know more about the law than I do, probably. Are these things even legal here?
I'm not so sure about Massachusetts law. I can look into it. It seems... they're selling it here, so it must be. But, yes, I would like to look into the particulars.
As far as you can tell, it is kind of Air Bud rules.
Yeah, they haven't banned it, so, yeah.
Legal gray area.
Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been made illegal yet. But that's because they haven't thought of it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, if this becomes a problem with these Minutemen, we could just bring it to the actual literal government that these things are being made and shot.
Do you know how much this government loves guns? We're in America, Gideon.
We're in Massachusetts.
You'd be surprised, even in
Which is
Massachusetts.
in America.
The NRA would get their hands on that in a heartbeat. And you know what would happen? Instead of these guns being suppressed, they would spread like wildfire. We'd be seeing flaming shotguns all over the country. Even going into bordering ones like Canada and Mexico.
And also keep in mind the fact that there are plenty of people in my circles who are selling guns under the table. There's some pretty impressive weaponry being circulated around that the government doesn't know too much about.
Yeah, I don't know how deep you keep an eye on like weapons contractors, Jay, but you've definitely like in your travels seen various like spicy gear get posted, like in black markets. There's
Jay
like
is
UV light sites. Some people will sell. You've heard of a certain gun known as a Ralphus pistol that is much like the Banefire round that you've been hearing about. But this is something that's like you've seen it on the black market because you know it's like illegal.
And this is like it's making a foray into the legal market, or
this is
somewhat dubiously legal market.
Yeah, this is a slightly less than ethical, like operating out of a state that's very, very lax about its gun laws.
Well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this.
So, what are our options here? We either arm up, go in, guns blazing, or should we just take this to the sheriff at this point?
I have a meeting with him later this evening where I'm going to update him on the threat posed by Nabokov and also of the situation we were in prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is something Malcolm would want to hear about.
It does seem like he's dealt with these anarchs before, from the way they've talked about him.
I mean, if they're living in the city and the prince is allowing it, I'm definitely sure that the sheriff has been keeping something of an eye on them.
During the anarchs, yes. I'm almost certain
specifically the anarchs.
They would not be thrilled for the prospect of the anarchs uniting. A bunch of groups out there on their own, minding, even if they are causing a trouble in groups of 3 or 4, it's not an issue, but as soon as they band together, they have a small army. They're making their own army. And though they haven't yet, it won't be long before.
You've traded blows with Nabokov overseas a few times.
Yeah.
And you've known... You and your sire have personally, like, slain a handful of his progeny. Like, knowing him to have been a Sabbat defector, they are a lot less discerning than the Anarchs and Camarilla are. So you don't know if there's, like, a whole bunch more. Just, like, you know, Sabbat or Samiz vampires. You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that was his MO before. There hasn't been, like, you've been looking at the news, and there hasn't been, like, you know, anything that screams, hey, this is obvious, like, shovelhead behavior.
Yeah. Okay.
But, yeah, that's a tactic you've known him to use.
Well, wouldn't you say that the prince was aware of this because... Sorry, don't mind my printer. I was printing my homework that I'm doing tomorrow. Wouldn't you say the prince was aware of this because of the fact that the Anarch ambassador was invited to Elysium? Surely she knows they're organizing if they have an ambassador.
Well, that's the kind of thing that a sheriff would be knowledgeable about.
Azira, I know you're not too fond of me right now, but I was wondering if I could accompany you to visit this sheriff. I can let you do most of the talking if that is a condition you're requiring.
Not at all. But sorry, that's a yes. You can come. Yes, you can talk. That's
Alright,
fine.
excellent.
You seem to be very good at that.
You would think.
I'll make a note of that.
Gideon and Jay, are you coming with us?
Ooh.
He is your boss.
I'm just trying to think, like, I've just been thinking, like, fuck, okay. Jay is, like, really in his head right now about Felix being back at that club, and is, like, torn between, like, fuck, I want to go, like, fucking grab him by the scruff of the neck and drag him back here, but also, like, I don't want to, like, I'm trying to be better, I don't want to be controlling, fuck, 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 fuck. He's just like, yeah, fuck. Yeah, I'll come see the sheriff as well. I think he might have something to say to me, because I don't know if we handled that situation as best as we could.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Gideon, is there an update?
Oh, right, you had sent that text, though, you were saying from. That was out of character. Let's see.
That's really funny if that was in character.
That was so in character for me.
Things have been taken care of.
Okay.
It won't be an issue.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
Oh, sorry. Do I speak in an ominous way? I'll try to be less ominous.
Jay just kind of stares at him. And he's just like sort of dumbfounded, like, this dude is so wild. And then he just moves on with his life.
Love that. So yeah. I think enough time has gone by. It's getting closer to your meeting with Sheriff Malcolm.
Before the meeting, can Valencia do something?
What would Valencia like to do?
Valencia would like to, just like, not in sight of the others, just send a text to Maricela and just say, because it's pretty early in the night, right?
Yeah. It's
okay.
Like, it's been sundown for a couple hours, but it's definitely not like...
She wouldn't be sleeping.
Yeah.
Right. She basically just sends a text saying, hey, do you know any good gifts that for, an artist friend? I'm looking for something that might be useful, but also, they're kind of a hippie, so.
Am I that artist friend?
She texts back, oh, you're cute. Do you think I'd be texting you this if it was you?
You do like to spoil me.
Yeah, and usually I just ask you what you want, so... No, unfortunately. If you want one, I'll get you one, but I was wondering if you could recommend a gift for somebody else.
I mean, I don't know their setup, but... she, like, rattles off, like, a bunch of different, like, mediums and, like, what is very, like, very clearly expensive, like, materials and stuff
Supplies
like that. Yeah.
All right.
Me, the
And
person
then-
who is about art, but
Yeah. So Valencia just texts back, "Thanks. We should go shopping soon."
I love that. And there's like a bunch of like different colored heart emojis behind that.
Yeah, Valencia just sends back one yellow heart. It says, "Have a good night."
Okay, see you soon, sis. And yeah, you have that conversation on the ride over. Our Lady of Perpetual Help is not that far a distance from your, hunting ground. And you all find it's maybe a handful of blocks. And you guys make your way over to this very, like, if I were to describe it as an ostentatious Catholic church, like, that's not accurate because when it comes to other ones, like, this is all Catholic churches are like pretty, and there's stained glass, there's high vaulted ceilings. It's like
They're not known for subtlety.
But
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the square, the like the pentagon with like the pointed towers, like that. What the when you a Boston Catholic church, like that image enters your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just a smaller one, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely smaller. It's closer to the hipstery part of town where you guys are. There does happen to be a dispensary directly across the street
nice.
titled the Kush Grove Shop, because you know what? This is real life. I'm looking at Google Street View.
Oh my god. I love that.
But yeah, there's the pointed towers and the there's stained glass in all the windows, and it's very like geometric and pretty and all that. Yeah, it's got the big towers and all the Catholic imagery. And you guys, it's like you looking at like Google on your phone, it is closed, but churches are never closed. There's always people there. You guys make your way in. There's some of the candles that are lit at the far end, and you notice like there's not really any clergy anywhere, but like inside like there's like an upper floor like up behind. You can see there's very clearly a like a little balcony, and there's at least a figure up there. Not like they're not like shrouded in darkness and brooding, but you can definitely see like there's a man bent over in prayer. He's got like a dark coat and like he has like a bald head. You see he's like hat, like if you were to get up close to him, he has like a hat that's like in his hands as he's like up there. That
It's a Red Sox hat.
no, it's one of those like flat cap, like very
Peaky Blinders.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I get.
Yeah.
Jay's just going up.
Yep. Yeah, you guys, there's a stairway up. You
Yep.
you and Jay and Ajira would both immediately recognize this as the sheriff. He's this bald, he like tall but stocky. He bald head. He looks like he's had his nose like broken a couple times. You see one of his limbs, like is you see like part of his hand is like replaced with like a prosthetic. It's like a ivory hand, like wrist up, that's like covered in like beautiful like not even ivory. What's like
Porcelain?
the average person would think it's ivory, but like a fine craftsman would notice it's actually whalebone. And it's like
Vibes.
at least like the bottom part of it, like the top part is more articulated and there's probably some replacement parts in there, but like there's like this whole like the like wrist arm part of it is definitely has like this whole like sailing aesthetic going on. But he finishes whatever like he fully does not acknowledge any of you for like a solid minute and kind of finishes his business and then stands up and greets you. Yeah, he's like sort of very red, like the face that would be very red if there was blood actively flowing through it. Very, very like Irish Catholic looking person. And, yeah, he's got the like the dark cloak, white shirt. There's like dark suspenders. Very, very like old world looking. All right.
Jay, surprising everyone, waits to speak until he's spoken to.
Okay.
So, the lot of you two have a bit to say to me, don't you?
Yes.
So, Jay, my boy, you had a bit of a mission recently, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
How's that going? I know, I gave you something difficult, and this wasn't a target to hit, but...
Well, we ran into a bit of trouble. I brought my coterie along, seeing as I definitely needed their assistance. So, I'm not the best talker.
He chuckles at that.
Conversation's not my strong suit. We were attacked while we were engaging in conversation. Ran into a little bit of a sticky situation and had to handle it. Jay's kind of like, fuck, how do I say this without getting myself in trouble? He kind of like shuffles a little bit and looks uncomfortable. Like, he kind of looks like a kid who thinks that they're about to get in trouble. Like, he looks uncomfortable. Like, I don't think anybody's seen Jay look like this before. He's kind of got his head down a little bit and isn't actually looking at Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, the interloper that you sent me to talk to the Anarchs about, we have reason to believe that they sent a couple of ghouls to take care of the Anarchs, seeing as they mentioned that they had been approached but refused the advances, I guess, of this newcomer. And some Molotovs were thrown, some throats were ripped out. It was a bit of an event.
I did see something in the paper about burning warehouse.
Yes, the Anarchs who were residing there did escape. They are fine. But I definitely think that this newcomer is definitely going to pose a problem for the prince, and definitely needs to be handled quickly.
I noted. So, have you handled that situation?
It's in progress.
Good.
Azira, at this point,
It's like, we have only been doing this. It's only been like 2 days. He doesn't say that, but it's like, it's been 2 days.
Azira, in complete contrast to Jay, is standing at like parade rest, so like shoulders square, upright, hands behind back. Like, when I arrived here, I briefed you on the Nabokov situation, and we have discovered that he is here and he is the one responsible for all of this. He is creating. He is kidnapping, well, killing, altering citizens of this city into ghouls. He is attacking other kindred, who those he can't strong arm into joining his gang. He is seeking to send a message to.
And he's flying a flag now. Is that it?
Yes, he wishes to become. I wrote it in my note.
It's the Baron, right?
The Baron of Southie? Is that Southside?
You see Malcolm like break out laughing at that title being like thrown out, and like he has to like quiet himself after a second.
Yes. Well, he has gained some followers, but his sales pitch, to use the term, is sorry, this is Shelley trying to figure out how to say this properly. He wants to be in charge. He's convincing those. He's starting with the Anarchs, but I would not be surprised if he moved on to other coteries and others who feel overlooked.
Overlooked, underserved by our wonderful prince. Well, well, I suppose, first off, being the sheriff, I will take a lot of this information to the prince. I'm very certain she will issue a blood hunt, but I cannot speak for her directly. You know, I'm not the harpy.
Valencia's eyes light up at that and just say, would the blood hunt just be limited to Nabokov, or would it include the Anarchs working with him?
Someone's thirsty, aren't they?
They didn't exactly make friends.
I cannot say for certain, but is there a name you'd like me to... He, like, pulls out, like, a leather-bound notebook from, like, a coat pocket. He's like, is there a name you'd like me to add? Any co-conspirators?
Azira is going to step in before Valencia has time to speak, and she's like, we have heard of some who sympathize with his cause, but as of yet, we don't have proof that they've out and out joined it.
Okay.
Valencia just, like, holds her tongue, and it's just like, That's it. She doesn't say anything. She already pissed off Azira before, but she's, like, kind of steaming right now.
Interesting. Okay.
This is the person who's like, no collateral damage. I know you don't like the guy, but unless he is directly involved, she's not gonna let you kill him.
He is harboring him and allowing him. I'm just saying, like, he's involved. There'd be a good reason.
Yeah, he he has a pencil and just, like, very quickly catches up with like notes on what you're saying and like. Okay. Well, this is all very important things, and you know the prince is a busy woman. I cannot, overburden her. She has her Elysium is coming up. This accent is escaping me every 2 seconds. It's great. She does have her Elysium to plan. Well, not plan, but the prince has a very busy schedule, as you know. But if there's a blood hunt called, and the harpy doesn't beat me to it, I'll let all of you know first.
Ray, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it within kindred society generally not cool to like fuck with other people's I guess kids?
Progeny?
Yeah. Like would it be like, oh, that's a big no-no doing a glamour on someone else's child?
That would more be your fault for letting it happen.
Okay, cool.
That's how the rule of the progeny sort of. That's how that tradition works. Is that you are responsible for the upbringing and protection of your progeny, and any way they fuck up falls onto you, as much as your fuck ups fall onto them. Even though he's your adopted child, like, you have accepted all of that responsibility.
Great.
So you don't want to...
Nope, don't want to talk to Malcolm about that.
Don't want the self-report?
Nope. Yeah, no, I'm not going to snitch on myself.
Come on, Jay. You could be a little sussy baka.
Goodbye.
Yeah, hang it up.
No!
Okay. So...
You're on the same fucking ice, Miriam.
So...
Are we all set with the sheriff? Are we leaving the church?
Is there other information you wanted to share?
Azira's probably gonna wait until the others leave, but then fully explain the I fucked up situation.
Which one?
The leaving the bodies there.
Oh, okay.
Jay waits until he's dismissed.
Okay. Yeah, he, like, snaps the... Like, if there's nothing else from any of you, he, like, snaps the thing closed. It's like, well...
Valencia does a proper curtsy. Like a half bow.
He returns it. He, despite being of higher status, is very, like, he's trying... Oh, no. He's trying to be polite. Oh, no.
Uh-oh, what?
Give me a second. I accidentally...
Did you do a fucky wucky?
A little bit. I hit a button on my second monitor, and it turned it to DVD mode. So I had to get it back to HDMI.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's still recording, right?
Yep. Got the little yellow box.
Pug.
So yeah, the other three of you dip on out?
I would say that this whole time I'm just sense the unseen.
Okay.
Just to see if there's anyone listening in on our conversation.
Interesting. Yeah, you... let's make that roll for Sense the Unseen. So,
Wits plus Resolve plus Specs.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 5 dice.
Yep.
That is 2 successes. The last one is a hunger, so... No, it's 3 successes.
3 successes. Yeah, you look over this place. There's not okay. So there's no. The first thing you notice is that the sheriff, his arm, the prosthetic, his left arm, just like it looks like it's like you looking at it with your like flesh and blood eyes, like it looks, like it's made of matter and stuff. This thing is like almost radioactive with blood sorcery. Uh, with the three, like you think like that's how he can sort of channel his stuff through it, like through like arcane workings of blood. He has integrated this prosthetic limb into like his undead flesh so that it's not like rejected or anything like that. Yeah. And you get the feeling he could probably, you're not sure what he can do because I don't think you've met the sheriff, like nope. At least in a way where he's shown off. You get the feeling like whatever he can do, he can also, like, if it's potence, he can use super strength through the arm. If it is protean, he can shapeshift the arm with whatever he's doing. That's kind of like what you've observed off of him with that. Looking down into like the courtyard itself, into like the chapel area at like the back, there are dozens, if not hundreds of spirits. Just kind of most of them are shades. They're not like
ghosts.
Yeah, they're just vibing.
Yeah, a lot of them, they're just people doing what they remember in life. They're like all sort of overlapping with each other, kneeling, praying, like doing church things. People who've, had unfinished business, and this is a thing they remember that brings them like joy and peace. That this is the thing they're doing, whether or not that's useful to them as spirits. There's a lot of them like down on the floor, like in pews down there as well, just kind of vibing. But looking around, you can tell for certain there are no like other kindred hiding with obfuscation, nor is there any like there's not like some sort of blood sorcery bug anywhere in on this conversation.
Okay.
That's kind of the vibe you've gotten. Yeah, none of these like spirits are particularly like perturbed in like a way you would recognize. Nobody's about to do poltergeist shit.
Okay. After the conversation is done, then he'll just leave.
Okay. Very nice. So yeah, the three of you leave, and Azura, you double back to speak with him?
Yeah.
You catch him as he's like, there's a window that he has like opened up, and you see like he has a foot on it about to like dive out of, and you catch him, and he's like, oh, is there a bit of confidential information you have for me?
This seems an appropriate place for a confession.
He laughed. He's like, I think you're mixing your metaphors a bit, but I appreciate it all the same.
I made a grave error in judgment during the first... After the fire, the 2 bodies found in the warehouse, I left them there.
Mm-hmm.
They had some enhancements from Nabokov. The situation has now been dealt with. It doesn't pose any more risk, but I did potentially expose the masquerade to...
He, like, you see, like, he doesn't need to breathe because he's dead, but he definitely, there's that sharp intake of, like, I would advise you to be a lot more careful because we simply cannot have... We have kept the Inquisition out of the city for, several generations of humans. It cropped back up again. That whole war on terror that the kind have cared about. And we have kept them out of Boston. There was trouble in Salem. We lost the chantry there. But we kept them out of the city. And I cannot have anybody let them know what we are and what we're doing. You understand that?
I do, which is why I'm telling you.
Now, I understand. These weren't your ghouls. That was Nabokov. I definitely think it's very important to get him handled. Because if he's leaving... he says a word you don't recognize. You don't speak Polish, right?
No.
There's a term he uses, which is slaczka, which you have heard a couple times dealing with Nabokov in the past, where that you've heard from your sire and a couple other places. That is the term for ghouls that have been like fucked with by the Simis. Like the like super enhanced ghouls.
Mm.
He's like, I personally am going to do some looking into about those ghouls and those slachka, and I cannot abide something like that becoming a risk that the Kain come looking for.
Yeah, I didn't want you to potentially hear it from anyone else besides me. So
I appreciate that, and that is a big problem. I will... is there any information you have about where they are?
My colleague, I don't know if he was introduced to you, the doctor, a contact of his has resolved the situation.
Okay. But if he's building a movement, building an army, I need to know about it and do what I can to make... I need you to make my job as sheriff as easy as it needs to be.
This will not happen again.
It will not. And he's like, now, are there any more secrets that I'm to know?
No.
Good.
Nothing relevant.
And, like, he turns on a heel. You see him, like, straight as an arrow dive out the window. And, like, his form becomes liquid. And where he was, like, a few feet off out of the ledge, there is a falcon that is, like, the largest bird you've seen. Just, like... and he's gone out into the night sky.
I think Azira is going to smile and just say, cool.
Yeah, the rest of you, like, on the ground floor, you're like, where did Azira go? And you just see the same thing of, like, person, boom, like, out into the night air.
Jay downstairs, far away from Azira, at the same time goes, cool.
Gotta love shapeshifting.
Now, if he stays in that form too long, will he be stuck in it?
Tobias, no!
I've never read Animorphs, but I understood that reference.
Oh, the books of my childhood. I think I've read like 70 of them. There were so fucking many of them.
I specifically only remember reading the ones that like had the weird like centaur.
Oh yeah, axe.
On the front. Yeah, those were the like I think I had like 3 books that were specifically about like the aliens like coming and like dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I read those books so many times.
Yep.
We love it.
My mom yelling at her downstairs.
What's the gang's feelings now as you've left your meeting with the sheriff?
Valencia's gonna kind of wait for Azira to come out and just like give her the side eye and say, "So you don't think aiding and abetting is worthy of punishment?"
We don't know yet for sure that it's happened.
I mean, you were there the same night I was.
I was. I also think you have a personal vendetta.
Well, you know, they say 2 birds, 1 stone.
Hmm.
The problem with that is if we put that fucking twink on Malcolm's radar and Felix is still with them, that could probably end up very badly for both Felix and myself.
That's true. Do you have any idea when he'll be coming back?
Jake kind of just like looks at his phone, no new messages, looks a little bit like for like half a second, looks like a tiny bit sad, puts his phone in. No. It looked like he had clothes for a few days. Yeah.
Jira, you get a ping on your phone. You recognize from Sasha, and it loads up, and it is a picture taken in the nightclub. It's of the thing, and it's like it's of Felix, and he's like, is he okay? He's eating food with like 15 question marks behind it. I thought we couldn't do that.
He can. He'll be all right. Thank you for the update.
So far, he has not put any forks in any light sockets that I've noticed.
Well, it's fine if they're plastic forks.
LOL.
I like how Jay is just brooding, and meanwhile it's like Azira's in the bag with like her phone. LOL, look at Felix. LOL.
She's just like, I've abandoned my boy! I abandoned my son!
Yeah, I think Azira is just gonna let him feel miserable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think any of us know he's there and okay, right? Besides you.
All I said was he's at the club.
Right.
I think just because she wanted to stick the knife in a little bit.
Good for her.
We love it.
I was reading on about stains and remorse checks. And how that works.
Yeah.
And I'm scared, but do you think that was enough for a remorse check?
let me double check the rules, because you've been like, oh, I am deeply upset.
Yeah, I fucked up.
The end of a session. At the end of the session, we will...
Ah, fair.
At least one success. Yeah, because you definitely, like, big groveled in front of the sheriff, and he gave you talking down.
Yep. Yeah, Azira's not the let's not talk about it and hope it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
I have one job and I didn't do it.
Speaking of that one job, what is it that you intend to do now that you've informed the sheriff?
Fucking flies in here are driving me insane. Sorry. I don't know the area well enough. I think she would like to try and get some, like, surveillance on the situation just to see and if we can find out more about what his resources are.
Whose? Sorry?
Nabokov.
Okay.
Sorry.
Interesting. Okay.
But also is very intrigued by Gideon's suggestion of maybe getting some more firepower. Not forgetting about the Minutemen, but, like, Nabokov is priorities number 1, 2, and 3 for her right now.
Mm-hmm. What's Gideon's take? Where does he want to take this evening?
To be honest, he hasn't stopped thinking about the offer charity I made.
So, are the lot of you going to head down to Southie and maybe see if you can get some attention?
Like, what do you mean attention?
Well, you know she has been hanging out around there. That's where she met you at Club 12080. You don't know if she's there all the time, but...
Did we know where Riggs is?
Did she give you information or not? Did she give you her contact info or not? I cannot remember.
No, I think she said she would find me.
Gotcha. She might.
I mean, we know people who know where Riggs is.
Did you share Sasha's number or not?
I probably wouldn't have shared it, but, like, if that's a question that's asked, like... I do actually, Azira had mentioned before that it might be useful to kind of gather our allies and, you know, common enemies and all. And we all just want to see Pedro Pascal again. Let's be honest. You put him in this game, damn it!
That's very true.
Because I'm kind of wondering, because I don't, will Charity approach Gideon if we're with him? Because is this like a secret meeting?
It might be. Because I don't think any of you have seen Charity.
No, we were a bit preoccupied.
You guys can all head down there and Gideon can happen to wander off, if that's what you so choose.
I want to see more Charity, but like me, Miriam. Whatever you guys want to do. I'm gonna go grab some water really quick. Valencia's down for whatever. She does not want to be alone right now, so...
do you text Riggs at all?
Do I text Riggs?
Rather, do you text Sasha? Sorry.
I will say, yeah, if she has a number or a place we could get a hold of him, we might want to share, you know, pool resources against a common threat.
They will text back, be like, I spoke with Riggs. He is doing some... What's the word I'm trying to remember the word. He's...
Reconnaissance? I don't know. That's the first thing that came to mind.
When you're looking for property to buy, I cannot...
Real estate?
Yeah, he's looking into some real estate interests. Um, he has. So we do also own that bar, and he has somebody meeting him there to talk business, which was that like dive bar, biker bar that was like in the same block that the place that got heavily burned was.
I'm down for a dive bar.
So yeah, everybody like, I know we're waiting on Miriam. Where does Jay want to go on this?
I'll be right back too.
Okay.
Jay is kind of like, he's kind of like emotionally got like taken a few hits,
Mm-hmm.
like just in the past couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like everything with Felix, and then realizing things about himself, and then having to like talk to Malcolm and sort of like not have any results yet,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of being uncomfortable with that. And I think like part of him kind of just wants to unwind. So I think he's probably gonna like, what time is it when like all of this is said and done?
It's not even midnight. It's like 11 at best.
Okay, so like the archery slash shooting range that Jake goes to,
Uh-huh.
like I'm assuming he has, because he's awake at night. I'm assuming there's like, it's either open at nighttime or
It
like
it
has a key.
it has it's like one of those 24-hour gyms.
Dope. So I think that's where Jay's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of do some rootin' tootin' point and shooting,
Mm-hmm.
just to sort of like get his feelings
Okay. So yeah,
out.
you're gonna head down the range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Um. So, yeah, I'm gonna go. So, Valencia and Valencia and Najira are definitely like, hey, let's go talk with Riggs, and Gideon is
Yes.
going to tag along and get himself lost. Those are the scenes I have for me.
I'm living for this, and I'm living for Jay's upcoming internal monologue.
Hmm.
Just fucking, just like, blah, blah, blah. I'm such a piece of shit. Blah, blah, blah.
Too good. Too fucking good.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
compelling.
Jay wanders off. He goes to the range and thinks about his life for a bit.
Home on the range.
We'll come back to that. The rest of you, it doesn't take that much long. But you guys can make your way towards Southie. Or, I don't want to push. What is it that Gideon's doing? Is he like finding other stuff? Is he doing something else? I don't want to like.
No, he'll head southie.
Okay. Yeah. So the three of you make your way over there, and you find. Do you peel off before you guys get to the bar or after?
After.
Okay. So the three of you make it to this bar. It's like there's like a dozen motorcycles out front, more than a dozen cars, a various thing. There's like not blues, not quite country, like that like southern rock kind of like Leonard Skinner type area music that's pouring out of this place as you guys get up close to it. Yeah, definitely not your scene, Valencia. And I don't know like how well the other two like feel about it, but it's definitely like
Valencia pops a button open on her top and ruffles her hair a little bit.
oh my god, that'll do it. Yeah, a lot of you guys head on in. It's loud. It's not like packed, but it's definitely like a bunch of tables everywhere. Woman wearing like half a shirt working behind the bar with like one or two other people. Like there's a handful of like biker types in here, like beard, leather vest. But it's not just like all white dudes. Like that's not the like you see there is very distinctly a handful of flags like hanging behind the bar and stuff that are like DR, PR, Cuba, like various like it's a biker bar, but it's not like
there's no Confederate flags.
Yeah, it's not it's not skinhead bikers.
Yeah.
Okay. That is.
I mean, it's a fantasy biker bar. They're very inclusive.
I mean, there are communities that are,
No, I get it, yeah. I mean, in Boston, probably not, but...
if Riggs has anything to do with it.
Alright, fair.
Yeah, you get in. Like, this is a building that has been smoked in a lot, but currently, like, cannot smoke in. But it's definitely, like, seeped into the wood everywhere. There's, like, a handful of pool tables. It's people. There's people drinking. A couple people are very drunkenly dancing. Like, it's a bar. It's probably close to, like, 11:30, so it's, like, it's nowhere near last call, but it's definitely, like, people.
I want to specify Valencia's wearing like high-waisted like suit pants, like dress pants with her button up top. She's in pants and her butt looks great, okay? Valencia just like gestures at the pool table and looks at Azira. It's like, you want to play a game of pool?
Or
it's definitely not like record scratch, like everything stops when you come in, but without using presence, you definitely feel a bunch of eyes on you as like, who is this?
As like business lady and the Muslim walk into the bar.
Wearing, yeah.
This feels like the setup to a horrible joke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi.
So I think that instead of going to Riggs first, I think, Valencia's a little bit pissed off, and she's kind of like, you know what, let's just settle this with a game of pool and move on.
Oh God. I love this.
And then I'm also trying to give Gideon the chance to sneak away.
Oh no.
Miriam, not Valencia,
Fair.
We're gonna get way too into this game of pool.
Yeah. Let me look at you guys. I feel like I'm not gonna make you roll unless you really want. Would you really like to?
You'd want to do it, right, Shelly?
I mean, why not? Right?
I just don't want you guys to frenzy. That's.
Oh my God!
Fine. It's fine. We'll be fine.
What skills go into playing a game of pool?
I would say definitely dexterity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely dexterity.
I'm gonna go dex. I'm trying to decide if this would count as melee or athletics. I can hear like.
I would almost say streetwise in the sense that, like, like fun game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You
I
could do
just tried
Dex
to
composure.
Huh?
Dex composure.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say, Dex composure. I think you can do that for the two of you.
Okay. I'm not gonna use any blood dice, so.
Well, you would still have to.
No, I mean like those extra dice.
Oh, for
if I roll with
being
shit.
pretty?
Yeah. No, not even for being pretty. Like the willpower dice.
Gotcha.
What are those called?
You're not going to do any rerolls?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I didn't hit submit yet. I was like, what? Okay, I hit submit. Okay, wait. Can I just say, as
This is
Valencia's spending the whole time trying to look as pretty as possible and not actually paying attention to the fucking game?
Yeah, you get the first shot, and Ajira just like, okay, dink, dink, dink.
Leans the table.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think Valencia gets a couple of turns where she just completely flubs it.
Yeah.
But, like, before that, she, like, makes a show of, like, using the blue, whatever the fuck it's called, chalk. Like,
chalk.
Just a little, because Riggs is there, and he is Pedro Pascal.
That's fair.
Okay? So...
Yeah, you absolutely nothing. Like, I think in, like, 3 turns, Ajira has you completely, like, swept under the table.
Oops! I dropped the little polisher. Let me bend over.
Like, are you trying to get him to give you a lesson? I think is the question that she'll ask under her breath.
Love that.
I'm wondering if Valencia hears that, and she's like, oh, sweet.
No, it is specifically for you to hear.
Okay. Okay.
Very, very quiet.
Wait, Valencia is gonna say, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can teach him a thing or two.
Very quietly, Ajira, you hear behind you. I mean, I could also teach her something. I am very good at pool.
Is it Riggs?
You don't see anybody behind you. But it's like a very quiet, whispered voice.
Honestly, Valencia does not hear this.
Zira is going to, like, not make it obvious that she's flailing around with the pool cue, but move in such a way so that, like, it moves kind of in an arc around her. And so, like, there's a 3-foot span where if anybody's within 3 feet, they're getting lightly tapped with a pool cue. Just so we know where that voice is coming from.
You don't connect with anything, but you hear, like, footsteps of, like, somebody dodging out of the way. Rude!
I think not introducing yourself is also equally rude.
Well, I can't hear. I can go in the alley and talk to you if you'd like.
That's fine.
Yeah, you guys slip out, and, like, the veil of shadows falls away. And you see a young man in a hoodie, like those very, very nice kicks. Vega, who's
Oh, yep.
the Nosferatu who works with Riggs.
The tech guy.
Yeah.
So how much did you manage to salvage from that fire?
Well, most of my gear is in the basement, so it's safe. Some smoke damage. I'm going to need to, manually clean, like, all of my stuff. But, 2 or 3 cans of compressed air later, I think it'll be fine. Or I could use this as an opportunity to rebuild. Get an even faster...
You know how much of that stuff we went through out in the desert? Sand gets everywhere.
I've heard it's coarse and rough.
Stop.
Valencia's not out there. She just literally, just was shrugged at Azira walking away and just is like walking up to the bar to talk to Riggs, by the way. So I'm not there for this conversation.
Riggs is you haven't seen Riggs anywhere.
Alright, so she's just kind of going to just sit at the bar then.
Yeah.
But keep going with this fun horse and rough conversation.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Yeah, he's like.
No, at that point we'll say, yeah, that movie was an abomination.
Look, it was the last thing I saw before I got bit.
I am very sorry for you then. Honestly, yeah. Skip the third one as well. The new ones aren't so bad.
Wait, what movie are we talking about here?
Attack
Star
of the
Wars.
Oh, okay, it's been a while.
I mean, I've
The
pirated
prequel's derogatory.
Look, I personally think that the prequels hold up, but that's my prerogative.
I
Is this
personally.
Rhea or Vega?
This is Vega.
Oh, okay.
He's being like a bit of an internet shithead and like.
You think Jar Jar Binks holds up?
Oh.
Rude.
That's alright, I was always more of a Stargate fan than Star Wars, or Trek. Honestly, that was a good show.
So, what brings you three here? Or two? Where'd your tall friend go?
You know, that's a very good question.
As we pan out and Gideon has given everyone the slip.
Dun, 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 dun.
What is Gideon trying to do to get attention?
If he just wants to get attention, there's many things he could do. But the attention he's looking for would probably be different.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to go back to the club.
Okay. Yeah. You don't have the dominate to like force your way through the line, but you get it. The line is a lot shorter than it was the other day, but you sit there, you wait, and after a couple minutes, you do feel a light tap on your shoulder.
Hello?
Hey. You know, I just had a favor to do over here. I didn't think I'd see you so quickly. Got my note?
Yes, and I'm very glad that you got to this before anyone else.
Yeah. I'm pretty good. I've got ears in a bunch of places, and I can find stuff out pretty quickly. What can I help you with today, kid?
I'm wondering if you could teach me anything.
Oh. I could do that. Well, I just finished up a little bit of ritual work here for a friend. I can teach you some rituals. Want to head to my lair?
Absolutely.
Cool. And she she's definitely like shorter than you, but not like. She's not like 5 foot. She's like around my height, like 5'7", 5'8", like around there. A little bit taller with the like combat boots she's wearing. She like places a hand on your shoulders. We don't need to come here. She's again very like smartly dressed. Well, not smart. She's very like that like goth punk. The black straight hair, like combat boots. That long flowy jacket that she's got that you noticed that was like lit all the way up with blood sorcery. Like 15 different bracelets on each of her arms, all like some of them are like silver bangles, and there's at least like one like leather studded band. Black nail polish. It's very very goth chic. and is not wearing the. He's wearing a T-shirt that's like a cut up and distressed Twilight poster. You know, I have fun with what I do. You gotta understand. But yeah, she takes you. There's this like antique bookstore that she takes you to. Like, it's on it in like the behind it. There's like one of those like big triangle storm drain. It's like basement entrances to get into the back of. The bookstore itself is titled, it's Looking Glass, and it's, you know, there's a magnifying glass and a book as its like symbol. And you do notice you've got sharp eyes. You notice, I'm not going to make you roll, but you notice in the design on that thing, there's that same sigil that you saw that was like wax stamped. That's the like pentagram. That's yeah, the unbound pentagram. That like she's marked this as her turf, and yeah, she takes you into this basement, and yeah, and it's got this whole like, it's very secure down here. It's there. She's got like a small blood cauldron. That's well, there's not currently blood in it, but like you've seen some rituals where you have to cook stuff. Tons of like, not tons, but there's definitely like a bunch of like books of esoteric lore everywhere. A cat kind of like wriggles out from somewhere and just has like a one.
Hi, cat. What's the cat's name?
I call him Chesh. He's this calico, like gray stripy cat. It is short for Cheshire. I figured that question would come. Double checking Gideon. You don't have any points in Animal Ken. Normally,
I do not.
When animals interact with you, they don't like you at all. This one is fine. Totally, like, not bothered.
Is this some sort of familiar?
It is. I learned a thing or two from somebody else. I did a little extracurricular studying. It's a thing you can do where you see she like bites her thumb and like offers it up to the cat, and the cat like still sandpapery, but this cat is my very good friend. I've ghouled him. He keeps an eye on the place for me. It's a little trick I've learned from a friend of mine who's a bit more in touch with their inner beast than I am.
Well, it's always good to learn things from those who have different abilities.
So, you've come asking for knowledge in hidden lore. What can I do to teach you stuff?
He pauses. I want to learn the things that the out of character. It's the Camarilla is
Mm-hmm.
the main vampire authority, right?
Yeah.
Uh, the things that the Camarilla wouldn't teach me.
Oh. Well. Well, there's certainly lore and spells they like to keep secret. The stuff they really don't like is a certain different way of looking at life. Long time ago, I met with another one of us, another, sorcerer, who talked to me about somebody they met, somebody very important, by the name of Karna. And she pulls out uh, she pulls out one of her books and flips to a page and pulls out a pressed old-timey photograph. And there's this woman. She has dark hair in a neatly tied bun and business clothes. It's old-timey, but not 1910 old-timey. It's somewhere in the 70s or 80s this picture was taken. I don't know why I said old-timey. It's a Polaroid. Well, this has been a project for a little while, but the Tremere have been through all sorts of different stuff. There's the pyramid took a great hit when the Inquisition came back and absolutely destroyed the largest chantry you had over in Vienna. Or did my sister not tell you these things?
Did she?
I don't think she did.
Okay.
This is...
yeah, she didn't tell me those.
It's not a thing you would have learned from the Jedi would teach you.
Mhm.
No, we used to do a whole lot of stuff. Our whole society used to be bound together through blood bonds. You can't make those anymore. You can't bond another kindred. You can soup up a human, but they're only bound to you through whatever deals and promises you make. They're not supernaturally servants. You know this, right?
I do know this, right?
Yeah. That's something that would have been explained to you when your sire probably would have led you through Googling Igor. Well, our bonds used to be way stronger. We used to have the most addictive blood of anyone of all kindred. The whole inverted pyramid was built on blood bonds and subjugation. And we don't need that anymore. Karna, she taps at the Polaroid, started she gathered some like-minded individuals after the tragedy, after we were lamed, and she built her own House of Tremere. I am you. All the other clans are just Clan Toreador, Clan Ventru. We are House and Clan Tremere, or we used to be. There's a couple other houses. We came from human wizards, right? They stole vampirism. That would have been a thing you would have.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's I know how much I know as a person. I'm not sure how much Gideon knows with these.
We stole vampirism, and there was the House of Mercury. That's how. Somewhere in the 1490s, somebody put something together and blood sorcery happened. But we happened to thaumaturgy. We called it, at least. Well, Karna decided to build her own house. Because, honestly, don't take any offense. The upper levels of the inverted pyramid are kind of a boys' club, and it's nothing but, like, you look at whatever's left of our greater chantries. I think we're one of the few chantries, like, on the eastern seaboard who's... Oh, I think your chantry is one of the few ones on the eastern seaboard who doesn't have a man in charge of it. Well, Karna came up with some different stuff, and she actually learned how to destroy blood bonds. This is not something that Camarilla likes hearing about. Because even when House Tremere even though we can't blood bond anymore, we still love order. But Karna herself figured out a secret ritual to, unmake those bonds.
Gideon furiously writing down notes.
Mm-hmm. We don't have a large base here in Boston. I'm one of the handful of representatives. I came to it my own way, but we represent House Karna, and we stand with the anarchs. We stand for freedom. As much as I'm wearing a collar right now because it's fun and fashionable, I'm having nobody take charge of me but me. That's some of the important stuff that we care about.
So would you say that you're how much have you heard of this man Nabokov?
I have heard some sales pitches. I've heard him say some things. I've heard them secondhand. I've not been approached by anybody. I don't like what he has to say because while it's using the words freedom and self-determination and all that, he's very much trying to... It's just a cage but painted green instead of white. He has much bigger ideas than this little borough. I think whether or not he breaks it up like an actual proper baron or, gets hungrier and hungrier like we all do, I don't think he's going to stop at any point. And I don't think he cares about anybody in his way.
That's going to be tough for someone who's just assigned to be put in his way.
Is that so? I like that, honestly. Yeah, I think from here, like, we will zoom out, but she, like, sort of tells you more about the history. There's one of the lore sheets that, like, this is a thing for. Is this the whole thing? No. Yes, it is. I'm gonna... show... edit... in player's journals for you should be able to look through that. And this is a different thing you could spend experience points on getting advantages in if you're so interested. Okay. Before we zoom back to the bar. How's Jay doing at the range?
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
There's not a whole. I think you're the only person in the building, or at least you were when you got there. You're full on doing some like wanted shit of like trying to bend bullets and honestly doing a great job.
If I just get the angle,
Ooh.
I can curve the bullet.
Boo!
What?
It's
like
me, James McAvoy. Yes.
At least be Angelina Jolie. Come on.
He's like, he has the gender of James McAvoy. McAvoy, yeah.
Yes.
But the vibe of Angelina Jolie.
James McElroy.
Oh, that's the true
It is
gender euphoria.
James
The fourth brother.
Yeah.
My brother, my brother, my brother. My brother.
My brother, and James. But yeah, so he's just like getting in the zone, auto zone, and just like fully hating himself inside of his head.
Mm-hmm. After like 20 minutes of just like fully unloading, you end up hearing the
Blah 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 blah.
as somebody
Huh?
enters in. Ears slightly ringing. It's fine. Unlike everybody else, your hearing follicles grow back. Who needs ear protection?
I mean, Jay does still wear ear protection to keep up the pretense. Like, he's not.
Yeah. Yeah, as you, like, pull the...
He does not wear safety goggles, though.
Yeah,
Ooh.
as you're, like... In...
Because there's nobody there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there were people who work there around, he would be wearing safety goggles, because those are the rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in between clips, you're reloading, and you, like, hit the thing to bring your target up so you can look at your score, basically. You hear the door behind you as somebody else comes in.
I turn to look at the door. Like, I kind of, like, he kind of, like, turns his head, like, just slightly so that he can sort of look out of the corner of his eye to see who's coming in.
Yeah. There's a young woman coming in. She's, like, pulling out, like, AirPods and, like, gumming up the ear protection earbuds to put those in instead. Young woman got dark hair tied up in a braid down the back of her head. It's got tank top, kind of muscly. There's a tattoo on her shoulder that is a crescent moon with like an arrow drawn through it. And you recognize your friend Elia coming through with a longbow, like a compound bow, like strung over her shoulder. Like, not actually, because that would hurt, but like carrying it behind her.
She's got like a carrying case or whatever. She's cool shit.
Yeah.
Jay's definitely slipped her money at one point or another to like get good equipment.
Mm-hmm. And this is like a nice compound bow too. This is like season 1 arrow looking, like wheels on it.
Yeah, so Jay just kind of like still hasn't like turned his head all the way, which just sort of like calls over his shoulder and he's like, "Hey, Ellie."
How do you do that?
Do what?
I barely walked in and you recognize... Do I walk in it? Do I have an unseemly gait? Is that why you recognized me?
I mean, I heard the door open.
Oh, it's time of night. Yeah, no.
And also, who the fuck else comes here at this hour? Like, it's pretty much just us. Maybe a janitor, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when I got here I was the only one here, so process of elimination.
I guess. She sticks her tongue out at you.
Jay sticks his tongue out back.
She goes up and goes to the mark. He's like, well, I typically only see you here when you're upset. So,
Am I that predictable?
no, I just get used as the therapist friend. I can see when I'm needed.
Do I really do that?
I'm not saying by you. I'm saying with everybody, because I'm an empath, apparently, is what I've been told.
But it includes me, right?
I'm offering my services.
I fucked up.
Did you know?
Jay just kind of like slumps against like there's like that little counter
Mm-hmm.
sort of space, and he just kind of like slumps, like elbows on the counter, sort of like head in his hand. He's like, oh, I fucked up. I fucked up, Ellie.
Aw. She comes over and like gently puts a hand on like the small of your back, or not small, the like top of your spine area.
Like between the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jay kind of like flinches at that because he's like, even though like he knows Ellie, like he still like doesn't do great with physical contact unless he's the one initiating it. So he's kind of like it kind of just shocks him a little bit. He's just like, ah, and then he relaxes again. And he kind of like straightens back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like talked about Felix with her before,
Mm-hmm.
like not like obviously not going into specifics, but like I have this friend and like I've kind of become responsible for his well-being, and it's like it's difficult, and so he's talked about that with her. So he's like that that friend that I've mentioned before. He kind of ran off on his own, and there's nothing I can really do about it. And I've kind of come to the realization that it may be my fault.
Well,
I
as
don't know
somebody
what to
who
do.
ran away from home at an early age, probably is, but
Ow!
she like punches you on the arm and he's like, hey, I'm fucking with you a little.
Oh no, that was Ken saying that. Jay is kind of just staring at her in stunned silence, like, all my worst fears have been realized. Confirmation!
Well, I can't necessarily fix your situation because I've never met this guy, and but have you considered saying that you were wrong and he was right?
No.
Well, that's a start. Sometimes you just can't know everything, and you don't actually know better than people.
I think I've just sort of. I think I'm kind of realizing that I'm turning into my dad.
She like has a moment of like, yeah, no, I've been there. That's why I ran away from home, but for different reasons. She like chuckles. She's like, No, I totally get that. I guess you. I mean, I joked when I said I was the therapy friend, but like, hey, get help?
Jay's kind of like he's he's kind of like, wait, fuck, I could get a therapist. Maybe that would, maybe talking to someone would help, and not like pushing that responsibility onto my friend. Oh fuck, I have money, so he's kind of like having this like inner monologue, like, oh wait, I can afford a
How do you
therapist.
get a therapist for a vampire?
Yeah, like how do you get like a nighttime therapist?
Something to look into, I guess. But not. This is like internal.
Yeah, it's internal.
Decidedly human.
Yeah. It's kind of like things. Maybe if I talk to someone, within the community, it's like maybe they're a vampire therapist. Like, I mean, vampires have issues. We live a long time. That could cause a lot of problems. Maybe they're like certified vampire therapists.
Just
Shit.
actual Sigmund Freud as a vampire.
It's just literally him. It's like,
The worst
fuck,
person
dude.
to go to.
Have you
The worst.
have you tried doing cocaine about it?
You just
I can't.
fuck your mother.
I literally can't do cocaine.
You've
Do you often think about fucking your mother?
Yeah, exactly.
No!
What is that?
Try doing cocaine.
It's all sexual. It's all about sex with these people.
Except for
This
sex.
is what it
Sex
is.
is about power.
Yeah.
And about your parents for some reason. Yeah, so Jay just kind of like Jay smiles, and it's it's a real smile that's like reserved for specific people. He smiles. It's kind of like he just like grabs Ellie and just gives her a big hug.
She's like, "Whoa, really cold, dude."
Sorry, it's bad circulation.
I mean, no, I get it. I also have bad circulation, but that's for my own stuff.
Yeah. And just sort of like pulls back, sort of like claps her on the shoulder, and just does he kind of just like forces himself to sigh because it feels like the right thing to do. He goes, thank you for being there. I appreciate it. And I think I'm gonna seek out some help.
Yeah, you fucking better. Like, you cut into my range time. Like,
shit. Sorry. And then he looks back at his with his little the target sheet.
The paper target.
Yeah, he looks back at the target sheet and he's, how did he do? By the way, I'm assuming he did pretty fucking well.
I imagine it's like the ones at the fair where you're supposed to shoot out the star. There's just a hollow space where the human outline was.
Yeah,
I imagine
he's just
either you've punched out like a shape into it, like
Made a frowny face.
yeah,
just a sad face.
It spells out Felix. No, kill the twink.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, basically.
If you had a Polaroid, you would have taped it to it, but
honestly, he absolutely would, and it would have been immediately destroyed.
But no, yeah, yeah, it's full on like line, front, like frowny circle.
Face. And it's just perfectly in the head area. So it's like he just drew a frowny face on the head with bullets.
With exactly one shot directly in the junk.
Yep. He kind of scrambles to take the sheet down before Elliot sees it. She's definitely seen it. He just kind of pulls it. puts a new one
That
up.
is both impressive and sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Impressive and
Let's-
depressive.
Let go shoot some arrows, and he just like turns away and starts like putting up a new sheet.
Bitch, I might.
Gets back to it. Just not at me. Not at me.
Yeah, she does her stuff. Got the very nice like fiberglass like.
So good. So good. Jay kind of like just like watches her. Like once she like gets into it, Jay just sort of like watches her shoot for a little while, and is just impressed with the grace of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of his favorite things is watching Elliot shoot because it's just like it's
The
like
back
a duck to
muscle
water.
contorts. Yeah, it's like
It's beautiful in the way that like that
she's
sport
not
is
Olympic
beautiful.
level, but she's definitely like competition level.
Yeah, and it's like, and there's something about the fact that it's like, it's raw. It's like, it's just like a human thing
Mm-hmm.
to, like, because, like, humans have been using bows and arrows for a really, really long time, and so it's like, it's just a thing that Jay finds very beautiful because it is both an athletic thing and it's also a thing that can kill. And he vibes hard with both of those things.
Oh yeah, yeah, you definitely.
And then he goes back to what he was doing. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Blah 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 blah.
It's basically like in between every one of your shots, she will loose an arrow. It's like so that way you have a system worked out.
It's a conversation.
Yeah, yeah. We zoom out of there, and you spend your time with her. And we pan back in at the dive bar. Back under the guise of shadows, Vega has let you, Ajira, back into the building. And she's like,
Okay.
so you guys want to talk to Riggs, is that it?
Yeah. Basically.
Him. He had a bit of business earlier, but he's... I'm sure he could use a friendlier face. He, like... I'd say he disappears into the back, but he's already not visible.
I think Azira's gonna smirk at the friendlier face comment.
Valencia's still at the bar, clueless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some guy in, like, biker leather's like, hey, miss, can I, buy you a drink?
Thanks, I'm waiting for somebody.
Oh, okay. And he, like... You sure? he, like, bothers you, like, 2 or 3 more times.
He gives him a look, like,
Ooh.
considering, you know.
You don't
very...
have the dreadful gaze power, but if you did, he...
She has the RBF power.
Yeah.
He almost tells her she'd be pretty if she smiled, but she's already pretty. She's already beautiful.
It's not that, but...
2 points.
We zoom... Yeah. After a few minutes, Ajira, you feel like... Again, like... He doesn't, like, touch you or anything, but you, like... Hey.
The wind.
Yeah, like, again, because you can talk, but only in, like, bare whispers with Cloak of Shadows.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, Riggs isn't doing anything for the next bit, so I can grab you too. We can go have a little conversation.
And Azira will just tap Valencia on the shoulder. Time to go.
She sighs, gets up, and just follows her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys head up. Not up. You guys head into the back, and there's like a office area. It's like, it's definitely not like, it's kind of cramped. There's like a computer, like file cabinets, all sorts of junk like that. There's Riggs sitting behind a desk that's a little too small for him. He's got like a... He's not in like the same outfit you saw him the last time, which was like stained white beater or anything like that. He's wearing like what is it a bowling shirt? The like the like kind of button up, like wearing button up, and he's wearing like
polo or like where it's like 3 buttons or
no, it's like a button down. I think bowling shirt is the right term.
yeah, it'd be a bowling shirt.
Yeah, it's the like short sleeve.
Fun color.
Yeah, it's like a like almost like army green kind of like button down.
Usually has like
Huh? Ken, you cut out?
You cut out.
it usually has like a trim,
Yeah.
sort of like
Yeah.
on like the edges of the
Yeah.
sleeves and like the hemming.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got that and like a black trim. It's buttoned like 4 or 5 buttons down. More cleavage than Valencia's showing.
Is that a no, kidding.
Oh no, he's like, okay. So he's sitting behind the desk and he's like, okay. What the hell happened?
Valencia just like looks to Azira because she does not want to explain this.
Well, I don't know how much Sasha's told you, but the guys who started the fire, they're ghouls. Made by someone called Nabokov.
His face turned sour hearing that name.
Yeah, he was displeased when you didn't join his team.
Ah. Well, I guess that leaves me a couple options.
I've run into him before. He's a real piece of work. He is going to bring kind of chaos and destruction to the area. I know chaos is kind of your thing, but this... He needs to be taken down, and our coterie, well, we have our skill set. I don't think is enough on our own. And since, the enemy of my enemy, well...
Are we enemies?
I would like to think no, but,
He like crinkles up his face.
at least not in this instance.
Okay. So
Valencia smiles and says, I think we could be great friends, actually.
he
Azira is physically, not gonna roll my eyes, just gonna calm face.
Okay. So I'm definitely not a fan of this guy. I know, Vega. He got to save all of his stuff.
That car, though.
That car. I've been working on it for 3 months, building it from the wheels up, and it is destroyed. I'm going to take that tailpipe and break it over his head.
It would be wonderful to see.
Be like one of those Tom and Jerry cartoons, I swear.
Mm. Yeah, because he'll just kind of bounce back up again afterwards, but... well. We're looking to do some reconnaissance to see what his forces are, who among the Anarchs have agreed to join in, just get a better lay of the land. You're much more familiar with this part of town than we are.
Mm-hmm. Vega, I know you're over there. And he just kind of... The shroud drops. He's like, yeah, no, I'm right here. I think you can whistle up a couple of your little mousy friends and see what you can do for eyes and ears. Oh, yeah, right away, boss. And just, I, it would be funny to make you, like, roll against a terror frenzy, but I'm not. You just see, like, from, like, the floorboards, 2 dozen rats just kind of slink into this room.
I'm guessing we're Jerry.
Yeah, no, Riggs laughs at that. He's like, "No, that's a good one." Fuck, that's a real. I wasn't even planning that joke. That's so good.
No, it's so fucking good. Valencia said it. I'm just saying. She's smart.
No,
Only smart, beautiful people make puns, you know.
Yeah, you see. Yeah, Vega is like naming each individual rat, and like, as he like pulls out like he like from one of the like the kangaroo pouch in his sweater, he pulls out like a sleeve of Ritz crackers and starts like handing them out to the rats. Well,
Valencia.
I've got ears
yep.
at least. Juliet, just give me a direction.
Valencia looks at Azira. Like, Azira probably knows that she wants to say something about the ambassador. She's just kind of looking at Azira like, are you going to say it?
I mean, you're allowed to speak here.
Riggs, what do you know about that Laszlo who owns the club?
I've definitely been in town for far longer than him. He got up a piece of land. He started, doing his stuff. I heard he spent a bit of time over in Europe. Or somewhere overseas.
We suspect that he might be colluding with Nabokov. One could even say sheltering.
I don't think he's so dumb as to have him stashed away in his club somewhere, but it could be possible.
Do you think you could have one of your Jerrys just look into that?
Yeah, you see Vega like nods and like whispers to the rat pack, and like 4 or 5 of them again scurry into like a mouse hole and like vroom.
I like you. That can-do attitude. It's very nice to work with somebody who just gets straight to the point.
I mean, we are a movement after all. Some of us move really slow, but that's why I like the Anarchs. We at least try to get something done when we're motivated.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Valencia just, adjusts, like, plays with her hair a little bit.
Oh my god.
Listen, she needs to feel like she's pretty, okay? She had a rough night the other night, lost her shit, okay? She's not exactly the most balanced person.
Look, I never said I was a hero. Let me look at your sheet. We'll see if you care enough to make that a like actual blood. Are you like trying to make this a roll, or like what's your vibe going? Because I know you're very thirsty.
Valencia's having fun and all, but She knows a little bit better than to mix business with pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Unless... No, I'm kidding.
Maybe after.
She won't say no.
You guys do also have that warehouse you have the address of where some of the ghouls and pre-ghouls are being kept.
Oh yeah, definitely hand that one out.
Yeah, Vega sends off the rest of his swarm to go peek in on there. They do have little feet. It's gonna take a while, but as long as they are very well hidden, I can definitely, listen in every now and then. It's not a perfect system, but it's a start. I mean, I'd love to, like... I don't think Laz is going to let us set up a camera system. I've got some sneaky stuff, but I don't think... Unless we...
He seems to be very perceptive.
Yeah. And I don't feel like getting a sunburn to, like, get in there when he's not looking.
Yeah. No, passive surveillance on the club for now, I think.
Mm-hmm. We're rats. We're rats.
Rats. Rats. Me.
Yeah.
We pray at night, we stalk at night, we're the
the
rats. I'm a giant rat that makes all of the rules.
You gotta love animalism as a power. Everybody has a little.
Maybe the rats aren't communists.
Maybe those are just his
giant
friends.
rat that makes all of the rules.
Are they friends or are they coworkers?
And are they unionized?
Oh my god, they were coworkers.
I think with that, Valencia's pretty self-satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
She just, like, looks at her, like, fancy little watch on her wrist, and she goes, "Oh, well, would you look at the time?
Mm-hmm.
I'd best be heading back. Azira, did you need me for anything else?"
Rematch on that pool table?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try poker next time.
Yeah, you guys have your thing. I think Azira, as stuff is winding down, you get another text from Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a picture that, is a little blurry. Let me double check the ruling for this. Tendency to glitch in the present video. Treat the observers. Give me. So yeah, you get a photo of a. Everything else in the photo is very crisp. It's a picture of the stairs going up to the nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
Up to the VIP lounge. You can faintly see, like you can see one of the goons who was there yesterday. Sasha sends a text that's like, "Hey, I had to take a picture because I couldn't see him with my eyes. Do you recognize this guy?" And this is a very blurry. Like everything else in the picture is like crisp, but like the features on this person is a little bit blurry. Give me. What sort of thing am I going to make you roll? has a thing. Give me resolve and awareness to sort of make into this thing. This is going to be difficulty of 5.
Oh boy, that's everything.
Roll well. Would you like to boost resolve first?
Yes, I've not done this before. Explain to me again. I just take a slash on willpower.
No.
Oh,
you're
no,
going
sorry.
to roll a rouse check. Pass or
Oh.
fail. Your resolve will go up by 1.
Okay.
And that adds to your resolve for this round. For, like, this scene. Hungry. But
Yeah.
you now have 5, 6, 7. So you have 7 dice for this pool.
Okay.
With, were you at 2 hunger before or 2 hunger now?
2 hunger before, so 3 now.
You're at 3 hunger now.
Awareness. Resolve. Plus 1. Ugh.
You're at 3 hunger now?
Yeah. I'm not gonna risk.
Yeah, well, one of those should have been... We'll say one of the successes.
Oh shit, yeah, I didn't.
I updated it for you on your sheet. One of those successes, we'll say, was blood dice.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 dice if you want to burn a willpower to attempt to re-roll those. You currently have 3 successes.
Yeah. So 3d10.
Yep.
Hey! That's 2 successes, that's 5.
5 successes.
And I take a slash on willpower for that? Alrighty.
You'll get that back at next section. We're about to...
Yeah.
That is... First off, I don't think you've seen this person before. But they are very clearly of Clan Nosferatu. Bald head. They're blurry, but there's, sharp features. The fact that he's even this blurry, everything else in this picture is crisp, and he is not. You who knows how obfuscate works, knows this is a, higher level obfuscate power.
Mm-hmm.
So he's very good at being sneaky. Sasha asks, do you recognize this guy? You notice, looking at him. So, in general, about vampires, your clan bane is worse, the higher generation you are.
Mm-hmm.
And this person is particularly disfigured. His limbs are extremely long. He has a bit of a hunch. And he's he looks like you or Egerson, honestly, but his skin is gray and paled. Ears fully elf ear, pointy, high elf ear, skin completely sallow. His head is not only is it shiny, all his hair is completely gone, but it's veiny and disgusting, and if you were to show this and explain it to Valencia, do you do that, or
yeah.
Valencia, you know the harpy. Actually,
it's the harpy? The harpy's there?
No. You know the harpy has a subordinate. That you recognize this as somebody you've met at Elysium before. This is a very old vampire. As Raish.
Can you spell that for me, please?
It is spelled Raessh.
Does he have a rage?
Something like that.
Uh,
He is of Clan Nosferatu, and he is like bad news. Neither of you like know a whole lot about him. You know he works for the Herald, for the Harpy. And this is peculiar that he is coming here of all places.
I was looking at our web, and I just noticed something. So,
You found it?
yep.
Yeah.
so, fuck me.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck. Oh, no.
Fuck.
Oh, no.
We don't know that,
Oh.
though. We don't fucking know
Wait.
that.
I have no idea what everybody else is staring at.
Let me.
Look at our little boy, our beautiful baby boy, and, Raish over there.
Fuck!
So, okay, first of all, Valencia's kind of sus, because knowing the Harpy probably wouldn't be messing with an ambassador
Mm-hmm.
before Elysium, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, not even knowing that, like, why would the Harpy subordinate be going to secretly, the Harpy doesn't do anything secretly, visit, you know?
I think that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Okay,
And I think
Valencia's gonna mention that to Azira, though.
tomorrow,
Like, not in range of Riggs.
next session, we're going to pick up right after this. Like, it's not going to be the following day. It's still pretty. It's not time wise. It's maybe 2 a.m. Maybe. So you've got some time.
Fuck.
Means our willpower doesn't change if we spend willpower, right?
Willpower refreshes every session.
Okay.
This is if none of you took damage.
Okay. Or not willpower, the thing you do to reroll dice. That's willpower.
That's willpower.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay. Oh my god. Alright.
There might just be a panic at the disco.
I'm fucking scared.
Well, he did say he'll text us if there's trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But what
We
if
are
we find a text?
a few of us are in Southie right now. Don't know where the hell the gun range is. Oh my god.
And you guys don't know where your boy Gideon is either.
No, we don't.
Fuck. Wait, here's a question.
Valencia also goes to tell Gideon, realizes he's not there.
Does,
Like, after an hour, you realize he's not there.
Listen, okay, he's quiet.
Rhea, question. Does Jay know about Raish?
I don't know. Honestly, you probably would have if you've done any like court politicking.
I mean, in terms of like relationship to Felix.
I think Jay would know because
Okay, cool.
I think he during the like sire transference thing, he probably would have been the one to like, because you probably would have had to bring Felix before the prince,
Right.
to like get this signed. And Raish is somebody that can sometimes recommend things to the prince, and he's probably the reason why Felix had to get burned.
My sweet boy.
And marked.
Say what? As none of us but Jay know about that.
Yep. Don't worry about it.
It's totally fine.
Totally.
Everything is fine. There's nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
There is no war in Boston.
Yep. Nope. Felix is just having a totally nice time at this place. He's probably had a bite to eat.
Fuck. Rhea, I'm so stressed.
Yep.
This is so good. I hate it.
I'm sure Felix is in absolutely no danger, and will suffer no consequences.